In a big morale booster to the armed forces, Prime Minister is likely to keep up with the Diwali tradition by visiting border areas to celebrate the Festival of Light with soldiers. We've learned that Prime Minister this year will visit Jaisalmer to spend time with the Jawans. He's going to be arriving by a special plane at Jaisalmer Air Force Airport and then go forward areas by helicopter. It is also being learned that he will be flanked by the Chief of Defence Staff, Army Chief as well. Prime Minister Modi wished the citizens happy Diwali, saying that may this festival further bring brightness and happiness. May everyone be prosperous and healthy, unquote. Rahul Shrivastava is joining us for the very latest. Rahul, bring us the perspective of how the Prime Minister's visit this year especially, I mean he goes every year, but this year especially, in the light of all the tensions that one is seeing at the line of actual control and at the LOC as well, is significant.
One, Chetty, the Prime Minister's visit is, right now the details of it are very opaque, primarily because the Prime Minister will be visiting some very forward areas. And given the kind of situation at the LOC, at the borders, somehow the defense force, the government will be keeping those details and the movement of the Prime Minister under the wrap. But yes, the Prime Minister is keeping a tradition alive, which he started in 2014 by visiting on Diwali and spending time with soldiers in Siachen, the highest battlefield in the world. Last time around in 2019, the Prime Minister had gone to Jammu and Kashmir, and that was the first visit, in fact, of the Prime Minister after Article 370 was rendered toothless. The Prime Minister's visits to the border this year have a greater significance. Yesterday, he talked about how every citizen should light a diya for the soldiers who are bravely battling at the borders and under some very hostile conditions. And this year, you had just yesterday incident of hostilities at the border with Pakistan, in which Indian forces had to retaliate very strongly, and 6 to 7 soldiers on the other side are said to have died in the Indian retaliation. Also, an extremely hostile, very volatile, and tough negotiation involving kind of situation prevailing in the Ladakh region with China. And thousands of soldiers, Chetty, this time around, will be living under deeply sub-zero conditions, which are extremely tough to live. In fact, the Chinese are finding it very difficult to sustain their forces there. In this scenario, the Prime Minister going to the border, spending time with soldiers, definitely is a moral booster. And I think there is a strong political messaging to continue the national security narrative the Prime Minister and the BJP have tried to maintain since 2014. And even in the Bihar elections we just concluded, one did see that does have an impact. It's a real moral booster for the soldiers when the Prime Minister, the Chief Executive...
And Rahul, at the moment, the details, of course, you said are opaque, but any kind of sense that you're getting in from the PMO as to what the itinerary could be and where exactly he would be visiting, which areas is he going to be visiting? From what we're understanding, he is likely to go to Jaisalmer this time around.
See, Chetty, initially there were two views, that one, it could well be Bhuj or Jaisalmer. Now, what we are told that then it was narrowed down to Jaisalmer, and the Prime Minister is likely to be there at sometime around 8:30. But right now there are no details available, and if the Prime Minister is there at the border areas, we will not like to go on with any details which may jeopardize the security that involves a Prime Minister's visit at the border areas. But yes, the trip was to be there, and one will get into the details and the pictures of the visit from the defense forces sometime very soon.
Absolutely, and we're going to be waiting for more details to come in, but indeed, nevertheless, it's going to be a huge morale booster for our armed forces. We're getting breaking news coming in at this point of time. Let's go straight across to it. All right, Prime Minister is at the Jaisalmer border. He is being accompanied by DG BSF to Jaisalmer, and he's celebrating Diwali with Jawans at Jaisalmer border. We're just getting breaking news coming in. Prime Minister Modi accompanied by DG BSF at the Jaisalmer border, confirming the story that Rahul Shrivastava just spoke about how, first the plan was opaque. Not many people knew where he was going to be, and Rahul was the first one to say that it is likely going to be at Jaisalmer, giving us the details of the plan. And there you go. That's the news coming in. So Rahul, it's confirmed that it is Jaisalmer. The plan, as you mentioned, was between Jaisalmer and Bhuj, but now the Prime Minister has reached the Jaisalmer border. Rahul.
You see, Chaiti, whenever such trips where the Prime Minister is there at borders, especially which can turn volatile, usually the defense forces keep the details under the wrap. And that is why some alternate plans are created, and it is at the last minute. The pick is done by the Prime Ministers and the top security matrix in the country, which involves even the National Security Advisor and others. And Jaisalmer relatively has been what one can say a rather peaceful border outpost. And the Prime Minister's visit to Jaisalmer this time around also has a great significance, Chetty, because defense forces are not free from the fears of COVID-19, the pandemic. And the Prime Minister's visit and spending time on them at a time when social distancing is definitely a big sense of observation as far as the government is concerned. I think the Prime Minister will also send out a message to the soldiers that even there, though they are an extremely disciplined lot, but the Prime Minister will send out a message that how social distancing can be observed on a day when festivities. You know that you just read out the news that how COVID-19 numbers are spiking in Delhi and other cities as festivities and preparations start. So I think the Prime Minister's visit to the soldiers, spending time observing the social distancing protocol will definitely be significant. And also very significant, I think from there he will like to send a message to all the soldiers and the brave hearts who are standing at our borders with China and the LAC.
Oh yes, absolutely. And like you rightly mentioned, there is going to be a example set by the Prime Minister as to how you can celebrate this Diwali with social distancing, and we're still to get those live visuals, in fact, to come in from there. But we're getting some more breaking news coming in at the moment. Rahul, stay with us. The Prime Minister is being accompanied by DG BSF to Jaisalmer, BSF Director General Rakesh Asthana, Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat, Army Chief Naravane has accompanied the Prime Minister during this Diwali celebration. So, Prime Minister has reached Jaisalmer to celebrate Diwali. More information trickling in. Information coming in is that the BSF Director General Rakesh Asthana, Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat, Army Chief Naravane, all of them have accompanied the Prime Minister during the Diwali celebration.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.